Honestly speaking, I wanted to show you firstly the most beautiful places captured, but I can't. I can't do that because each and every place I could call the most beautiful. Looking from above would be the right decision to represent this city, at least at first, because it hides the disadvantages. And first, I would like to talk about those disadvantages of Vancouver.
Pull up and I'm loading the clip. New bitch, yeah, stay on my hip. Niggas talking, they not with this shit. Catch a body, you might just get hit. But lately been all about drip. New designer, just look at the fit. And I just blew a bag on my bitch. You got clout, but you don't got the drip.
This is East Hastings Street, and it has all the bad things you can think of. Junkies, drug users, drug dealers, homeless people, literally everyone. Sometimes it can be all together. Most of those homeless people gives you an example of what Canada is like and how this country treats and cherishes human life. These people live on the street because they want to. They like this lifestyle. The government can provide them with all the basic requirements, provide them cover, food, medical care, clothes, everything. Because do you really think that someone who speaks English with a Canadian ID cannot find a job when thousands of illegal immigrants that are now allowed to get a job, they get one? Honestly, I didn't know if I should talk about Vancouver, but I wanted to give you my personal view and share my experience with people regarding this city. I've spent enough time living here to be able to form my opinion and how much I truly love this city. Do you know this feeling when you don't really understand whether you like it or not? But when I had to leave this place, not knowing if I will ever be back, I've held back my tears so bad. At this moment, I really realized how much this city means to me.
Embarrassing moment with Mark.
Fine.
No.
I didn't have to think or analyze. When I left Vancouver, I could only feel. This is under your control. You're drowning in sorrow and sadness because you have to leave. And my love does not mean I will tell you how much amazing this city is, not at all. I will tell you the truth. There is a lot of negative things about it. And firstly, this city is incredibly expensive. It is related to nearly everything. Rent, for example, if you rent an average apartment, it can cost you about $1,500. And I'm talking Canadian dollars, by the way. Once again, it is just an average apartment. Nothing fancy at all. Look at this for example.
Okay, what are you doing?
Eating
Mark,
ice
you
cream.
just ate his whole thing. That's not good for you. What are you doing? I'm like eating an apple, and you're like eating this. What do you have to say for yourself?
Yummy. And the food is very expensive too. Yes, we can talk about the fast food, but if we talk about one level above, like White Spot or Sunset Grill, it can get $15 to $18 per person. White Spot isn't a high level place, but yet the prices make you double think. Obviously, those prices due to the average person wage is up to $55,000 a year, which is $4,500 a month. Minimum wage, as I understand, is $12 per hour of work, which is $2,500 a month. It may seem a lot to many of you, but think how much you have to spend on the medical care, gas, parking, food, rent, clothes. $2,500 is simply not enough. The comfort wage would be around $4,000 a month. Obviously, you can save up some money. Look at the East Hastings Street. People are getting food, clothes, place to live. But we want to live an American dream, aren't we? And as we all know, if you want something, you gotta pay for it. Another thing, it is transportation. Well developed, clean, useful, but unprofitable. So many people live in this city, but not that many uses the public transportation. You got so many tiny little streets that covers the area, and to serve such a huge area with the transportation is simply not profitable. The transportation here is being used by the minimum amount of people. Most of the Canadians simply don't use it. They want their private vehicle. And those who use the SkyTrain or buses mostly are students or immigrants or homeless people or those who can't afford a car. And afford the vehicle is very easy in this city. Nearly every family in Vancouver owns a vehicle, one or at least two or three normally. Even low class can afford a car. Canada is a shadow of the United States, not because it is not as good, I would say the opposite, because you can see so much of the United States in Canada, even the lifestyle. There's a rumor that Canadians and Americans are not in a good relationship, that secretly they don't like each other for whatever reasons. But put all the rumors aside, all the talk from the other people, the politics, those two nations are very close and have no reason whatsoever to hate each other. By the way, Hollywood films are being shot a lot in Vancouver. They call this city North Hollywood. Everywhere you go, you can see people on the set. Filming industry is very promising and big over here. Canadian dollar is not as expensive as an American, and as a result, you can see a lot of Canadian location in popular movies. I won't stop to adore the nature of this city. Jesus Christ, this is just a different from what you ever have seen. It is one of a kind of a place. Of course, there are places like Surrey, for example, where nearly every day you will hear shooting.
The shooting happened in the drive-through behind a Starbucks and a local bank right behind me here.
There has been another targeted shooting in Surrey overnight.
Good morning. A large investigation continues to take place at this townhouse complex behind me here in Surrey.
But we know places that are a lot worse than that, aren't we? Surrey is a city in British Columbia. It is part of Metro Vancouver area and it lies between the Fraser River and the US border. So the prices for rent over there are a lot lower than Vancouver, but the chances to get in trouble on the streets are a lot higher. So it is up to you what you will choose. But Surrey doesn't look like a Compton in California. It is typical city in BC, just not as quiet as the rest of the cities. If you ever decide to visit this place, this city, it will swallow you with its beauty. You will be drowning in the view of the mountains, trees, nature, peace, and freedom. Unlike any other place, this city gave me a big story of my life, big piece of a life that I have spent over here. This city raised me and made me a man. And once you leave this place, only when you leave this place, you truly understand if you love it or not. Vancouver is definitely the city I am deep in love with. Not one city in the world can give me this comfort that I feel over here. I like New York. I feel comfort in Orlando. I feel happy in Tel Aviv, amazed by Berlin, Rome, Amsterdam, and Budapest. But I fell for Vancouver. This special feeling that I have never felt before. I get a coffee in the Blends, walk along the waterfront, and I literally want to dance. And I want this moment to last forever. Without exaggeration, I feel inspired. I'm smiling at people that are walking by, getting the same back. And important to know that smile is an action that you will be getting in Canada more than any other place. Politeness stands out in this country in front of anything else, even if it's not an honest smile. Or sorry that you will get a lot. This is part of the culture. Random people smile at you, always apologizing for every little thing. They always ask you, how are you? Would you like some more? May I help you? Whether it was honest or it wasn't, it feels good to hear that. This city makes you feel relaxed. Driving a car, listening to music, it will be always combined. You drive on a bridge, you got a river at the bottom and the mountains above, and the buildings that are hiding behind the trees that are in front, and the pink sky just before the sunset will shine and add colors to the scene. This moment will stay with you, I promise that. And wherever you go, this scene will always remind you of the place that you cannot forget. I have been to nearly everywhere in BC, and every place I couldn't stop admiring. I moved here not knowing what's waiting for me, how I will get along, if I ever will find what I'm looking for. And I found it. I found it.